What is going on? Matt O'Leary back with another video here to recap training camp for Wednesday, August 16th. I'm excited to say that I will be at training camp tomorrow. Really excited to get out there and watch the New York Jets once again. So if you're going to be there, please come by and say hello. I'll be making the rounds and talking. Ryan will be there, Green Bean, Richie from Jets Media. A whole bunch of guys are going to be out there. I think Ali from Loyal NY Jet Fans as well. So it should be a really good group of guys hanging out there. So again, please make sure to say hello if you see us. Let's get into today, which was another not so great offensive line day. And while I do think some of the reaction today was a little performative in the negative aspect, I think that there is some level of concern. There could be some level of concern. And usually the truth lies in the middle, right? But you have some of the group who's like, this offensive line's an absolute joke. The Jets are going to be in shambles this year. This is a disaster. Calling like the season's like cooked before they even take a snap, which I don't think is fair yet. And then you have the other side of the aisle who's like, everything's fine. Like they just got to get their guys back. They are missing guys. And while that is true, they are missing guys. Like, isn't that what the problem was with the offensive line last year? That's why so many people were asking for more depth and saying, like, you can't go into the year relying on Mekhi Becton to be a starter for you. And the funny thing is, and we'll get into more Mekhi Becton in a little bit in this video, he's been healthy, but the Jets have pretty much just refused to move him from left tackle. And assuming when Dwayne Brown comes back, I don't think they're switching him and putting him at right tackle, nor do I think they're going to make him a backup. You've had very limited Mekhi Becton first team reps so far, so I don't know what the plan is there with Mekhi. I would love for him to be a little bit of the starting five, because I think if we are to take Robert Saleh at face value with him talking about the best five will play, I think Mekhi's proved to be a part of that best five. Where does he fit in though? Don't know. So we'll see what they end up doing there, but no Laken Tomlinson today at left guard. You had no AVT either. So what the Jets decided to do was Wes Schweitzer at right guard, Connor McGovern at center, and Joe Tippmann at left guard. And with the tackles just continuing to be a disaster, Max Mitchell and Billy Turner, again, you're hoping that Dwayne Brown comes back at some point. But unless they move Mekhi Becton over to right tackle, like now, today, going forward, they're going to be relying on one of Max Mitchell or Billy Turner to start, unless they move AVT outside. And okay, yeah, I guess, like, again, I've said this a few times already this offseason, and like recently, my preference is AVT at guard. I would rather that, but if you're telling me my choices are AVT at guard with Billy Turner or Max Mitchell at tackle, or AVT at tackle and Connor McGovern or Joe Tippmann at guard, I would rather go that route. Or Dalton Reisner is a free agent that just no one signed. Like, I would rather go that route than having to run with Billy Turner and Max Mitchell. Rodgers was frustrated with Max Mitchell today. There was back-to-back sacks at one point, and they were seen kind of going back and forth a little bit. But there was a stretch today where Aaron Rodgers was sacked four times in 7 snaps. 4 times in 7 snaps. They counted, I believe the beat was saying they counted 6 times that he was sacked. And again, I get it. They are missing starters. That is a part of the equation. No AVT really stinks. No Dwayne Brown really stinks. No Laken Tomlinson really stinks. But this is still a little bit of a concern. I can't sit here and tell you on August 16th that, like, I'm completely okay with the state of the offensive line. I would like this starting group to get together and get some practice. Everyone talks about, the Jets offensive line will be fine when they get their 5 starters, but those 5 starters, eventually they have to play together to get some chemistry down. I don't want to be learning on the fly and getting the chemistry down in week 1 against the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football. That's a huge game. That's a divisional game. You got to be ready to go on opening night. Again, I don't want to see Billy Turner or Max Mitchell be this team's opening day right tackle. That's a scary, scary thought. It just was not a really good day at all. And they struggled yesterday too, but I think it was worse today. So that also kind of puts to bed a little bit they're just going against the Jets' first team defensive line, and that's why they're struggling. Well, They struggled against Brian Burns and the Panthers, and then they struggled against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today. And thankfully, they looked pretty good against the Panthers, the Jets' offensive lines, any of the combinations that they put out there. Offensive line held up pretty good against the Panthers, but we'll see in game on Saturday how this thing looks, because it's a little concerning. Again, am I saying that it's completely the season's cooked and like don't even try, this team's going to be a disaster? No, obviously I'm not there, but I'm also not at the everything's fine and dandy. There's a reason to be a little bit concerned right now. There were chants for Mekhi Becton, and it's hard to blame them. Look, I think he's looked good in the preseason. He went from 7 snaps to 27. Eventually, he's got to get first-team reps. I mean, I feel like a broken record, but I don't know what we're doing with the thought that Billy Turner or Max Mitchell can be this team's starting offensive tackle. And until Dwayne Brown gets back, which, once again, Robert Saleh said it'll be soon, whatever the hell soon means, we're still playing this waiting game on when Dwayne Brown will be back. He's got to get ramped up a little bit. And as it stands today, it's Billy Turner and Max Mitchell, not one of the two. It's both. And like, even with no Dwayne Brown, Mekhi Becton can't get first team left tackle snaps. If you don't want to move him to right tackle, can he at least get first team left tackle snaps with how terrible Billy Turner and Max Mitchell's been in training camp? Is that really asking too much? I thought you wanted to see Mekhi Becton ramped up a little bit, and that's what he has been. He has ramped up, and he's played pretty well. He was pretty good today with the second team offensive line. So either give him the first team reps at left tackle in the interim to see what the hell he could do, because he's got to be better than one of the other two guys that they have there, or finally make the call and say, we're going to have you as a legit chance to start at right tackle for this team and give you some reps over there, because he's exclusively played on the left side all training camp. And I don't think it makes any sense. I really don't. I think, like, obviously Dwayne Brown is going to come back and be the starter. He doesn't get off-season surgery and return to this team to come in and be a backup. That doesn't make any sense. Why would he put his body through that at this point in his career? He's 39 years old. He's in his late 30s. He's approaching 40 years old at left tackle. You think he's going to come back and say, yeah, I'll take a backup role, let Mekhi play? Or, you know what? Yeah, Mekhi Becton doesn't like playing on the right side. I'll make the switch and play right tackle, even though I haven't played that position since I was a sophomore in college. No, Mekhi's got to be the one to move over to the right side. He might not like it. The Jets might not like it, but they don't really have a choice. Because, again, if they don't want to move AVT out to tackle and they don't want to move Mekhi Becton over there, you're relying on one of Billy Turner or Max Mitchell, which just seems stupid. But that's what it is right now. Garrett Wilson, let's go to a little bit of a positive. Garrett Wilson was all over the field today making plays. Thank God the New York Jets have Garrett Wilson. I can't wait to see him, because that connection with Aaron Rodgers is great. There was a bomb on the first play of practice that they connected for on a touchdown, 50-plus yards. Hopefully we see more of that. The Jets really didn't get a ton of stuff deep down the field to Garrett Wilson, and with Aaron Rodgers' ability to, throw the deep ball, I'm hoping that opens up the offense a little bit more in the regular season. So that is absolutely something to be excited about. Also in practice today, way too many fights between the Jets and the Bucs. It was extremely, extremely chippy. I don't know how much either team really got out of this. And in fact, Tony Oden, the Jets cornerback coach, had to get carted off the field after one of the fights between the Jets defensive backs. I'm assuming, I wasn't there, and it seemed like nobody really had a good eye on what happened, but I'm assuming he went in there to try to break something up and ended up getting hurt. So he had to get carted off the field, and obviously hoping for his recovery, because that's not ideal. Don't want to see a coach go down, but it was very chippy. And while I said on the Talking Jets panel last night, like, I was a little bit bummed that we're not going to see the combined practice or the joint practice on Thursday, after today, I'm kind of counting my blessings that the Jets aren't going to have a combined a joint practice tomorrow, because I don't know what good it's going to do for them at this point with just the state of the offensive line currently and the number of scraps that were, like, someone's going to get hurt. That's just stupid. So hopefully, they calm things down tomorrow. And last but certainly not least, we'll do some Zach Wilson talk at the end. He had some nice moments, but we did see him have a panic throw under pressure. He was pressured and tried to throw a ball into the flat and then went right to a defender for a pick six, which is a really, really bad play. But he did bounce back on the next throw and make a good throw, so that's a plus. And there were some other nice moments from Zach Wilson today, but I think it's important to highlight the pick six because that was a problem for him last year. And one of his biggest reasons for his struggles throughout his 2-year career going into year 3 was he panics under pressure. He is prone to bailing on the pocket and not stepping up, and he's gotten better at stepping up in the pocket and standing in there and making throws. We have seen a little bit of improvement there, but every once in a while in training camp, not just today, in training camp in general, you'll see him revert back to doing, making a silly mistake. And I think that's what we saw today. So overall, yeah, some concerns with the offensive line, some good Garrett Wilson stuff today. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I'll be there tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to that. But I want to hear from you. Sound off in the comments below what your takeaway from practice is today. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.